Well, hi and welcome to my shop, and boy oh boy have I been off in Wonderland here the last couple of days trying to sort out video and audio issues and the like, and boy, a lot of effort for, well, you should hear a pretty good sound now out of both speakers. I was shooting videos with only a left channel working, and you should be hearing out of both channels now, and it should be nice and clear and no hum and no buzz, and you know, thumbs up for getting some audio to work finally. So, but anyway, let's get back at this radio. Just to recap, the radio is actually in pretty good shape now. Lots of capacitors changed. Seems to be generally working in all respects except silent on one shortwave band. It's not actually silent. It doesn't seem to be tuning anything on the high shortwave band, which you can, this red band here, which is the bulk of the shortwave band. It goes from basically 6 megahertz all the way around to 18. So this is an important band to have operating on a radio like this, and we're going to try to figure out what it is. Now, what could it be? Well, we checked the oscillator. The oscillator is oscillating. So unless it's wildly out at the wrong frequency, which I highly doubt, that's not a problem. So we're left with some possibilities here. An open coil in the RF section somewhere. That would be a little bit unfortunate. And a shorted or open capacitor. That's another possibility. So we're going to look into these two things. I think the first thing we should do, though, is be absolutely sure it's not working. Now, I did discover just a couple of days ago when I was looking at the schematic that, in fact, there's another IF coil, IF transformer in here that I had missed. Oddly enough, on the schematic, but I could never spot the radio, and that's because they have one coil built in the typical can you can see here, and the other coil outside of a can mounted up here. So, you know, thinking the way I think, when I found this one, I figured the other one must look like that too. So I've been looking and looking for it in here and never able to find it because it's not in there. It's here, for crying out loud. So we have another IF coil to peak. Shouldn't make any difference. The radio, I mean, it may make an improvement, but it's not going to solve our problem with the high band not working. So maybe what we can do is we can check this IF coil in this video, IF transformer, tune it, and in the course of doing that, we can also verify that shortwave band is not working. Maybe we'll be lucky and find out it is, because I've had things like that happen before. So I've been working away at something that's not working, and only to find out in the end it is working, and I was mistaken. So we don't want that to happen. I better get the speaker for this. You won't hear anything without it. There we go. Okay, and we're going to need the signal generator signal. So, here we are. Now, this was supposed to be on a certain tube in. Let's see if I can quickly find the schematic diagram, or I'm going to have to go off searching for it here. Okay, so the radio's connected, speaker's plugged in. I think we're ready to turn on the radio and get it operating. It's plugged into the power. Everything looks safe. I think we're ready. There we go. And the radio has come on, the light is on, and let's just shift this way a little bit. Keep your eye on this. There he goes, down. So the current's flowing in the plate circuits and the tubes. We should hear something. Not much. I think I'm actually on the high band. Let's go to the AM band. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so this is the lead from my signal generator. That is a 6K7 tube doing that. It's supposed to connect into the 6A8, I think, but the strange thing is the instructions here on alignment actually says connect the oscillator lead to the 1C6 grid cap, and it's quite clear on here, 1C6. Well, there is no such tube in this radio. There's no 1-volt tube in this radio. So, I think that's supposed to be 6A8 there. 6A8 is the detector tube, and the grid cap connects right into one of the grids, of course. Why don't we give that a go? So I'll stick it right on the grid cap here. I'll turn it up. You hear it a bit. Let me try it on this. Hoo-wah. Watch your ears. Wow, that's with no signal coming out of the signal generator. So let's go on the quiet one. And I think that's a better idea. I'll clip on here. Well, the longer wire now, it's radiating even more signal. Still radiates. So we'll keep this wire away from that sensitive tube if we can. There we are. So that's on the cap, grid cap of the 6A8. It's kind of blaring up right up at my microphone here, so I'll turn it down a bit. We'll go full power here. Now I did do an alignment, but I only did the one IF. But let's tune through and listen carefully and see if we get just one peak. One peak. Actually, you can't. Yeah, I'll tune the signal generator. So can you see it? No, you can't. Okay, so you can kind of keep your eye on this. One of those curious tones there. Some heterodyne in there. Well, it's pretty close to 345. Put it 345, we'll double check our setting here. If you remember, one of these capacitors appeared to not have any effect, which was kind of weird too. Let me turn it down a bit again. I've got it, as I said before, the speaker is kind of pointed right at the microphone here. So we'll try this. We'll repeat what we did before. Oh, let's get our meter going here. I want you to be able to see the scale on this one. I'll vary the audio output coming from my signal generator and see that this meter moves to verify we're on the right thing here. A little bit. But I think that's good. And there, that's a little better for you to see the meters. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, got the screwdriver engaged. A little bit of wobbling there as I do this, but let's see. Here we go. Not much movement on here. The noise is pretty high behind the signal, but that is peaked, just as I would expect. Well, now we'll try the other IF cam. Let's see what we get here. If I can get my screwdriver in there. And I got 3 holes in this thing. Okay, there we go. Now, let's try and watch the meter now. Yeah, no pickup on that. Let's try the other one. Okay, we're in. We're ready to go. Watching now. A little more on that one. I'll go back to the other one. There we go. No, there's nothing to be gained there. So we know the IF is set properly now. Now let's try and we'll give this radio a go here. So to do that, we'll disconnect the signal generator from there. We'll reconnect it to the antenna. I'm going to attach it right. We're going to put it right on the wire here. Sorry, right on the antenna lead. If it sounds like I'm not thinking hard about what I'm saying, there's a little bit of truth to that. I'm thinking about 3 or 4 things at once here. Okay. And the IF is going right through the antenna, not too surprising at all. So let's take this up into the shortwave band, say up around 10. We'll go up around 10 megahertz on this. 10 megahertz. We'll go up to, oh, there we are, just about 10 there. See it for all my wires hanging around here. Get her down around 10. Now that's a pretty strong signal being fed into the antenna of this radio. If it's got any ability to receive, it's going to receive this signal. We'll dial up 10 on the dial. hey. Hey. No. It's receiving something. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to dial this in around 9, because 10's got that. So I think we're just above 9 on there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Just above 9. Take this down to where it's just above 9. Signal generator is not so happy about being at that frequency there. It's a little weak. There, I'll set that up a bit. I just want to be absolutely sure this radio is not working before I... Yeah. There's nothing coming out of this radio for sure. Okay, so we're absolutely sure now it's not working. Which is a step ahead in a way. And now the next question is, why is it not working? That would be a good question to answer. So, we should check the continuity of some of these coils. These wires are right kind of on the surface here. Even a good visual might turn up something. Yeah, so I think we're going to take a real good look at this. Hey, which coil is which? No change at all. Let's try another band on that. Oh my God. I've been on the broadcast band the whole time. Ah, man alive. Okay. So, should have checked that. But let's not fret. We will jump down there. That's why it's hearing all this stuff. And we're right around 900. So let's go to 900. And make sure this is working down here. Now wait a minute, it's more like 800. More like 800. There we are. Okay, no question about that. No question, it's working on the AM band. Okay. Yeah. Don't I make lots of mistakes here? Okay, so let's go up to the... hey, that's what keeps it interesting. We'll go up. Now we're on the shortwave band. We're on the dead band. The dead band. And we're still hanging around 9 megahertz. So we'll go up to 9 megahertz. If this starts working, I'll kind of freak out here. Nothing anywhere near it here, nothing at all. Okay, so I'm again very convinced the upper band's not working, especially when you hear another band work properly. So Now, which coil is it? Well, just based on sizes and position, may not be the best way to figure that out. These smaller coils would be the high frequency coils, I think. And what should we do next? Now, holy smokes. I think I gotta hunt around for some defective components, open coils, before going any further. And, hey, you know what? I could inject the signal past this first tube here. That'd be easy. All I gotta do, I would say, is... yeah, I'm going to have to hunt around and get this straight, so I don't want to do all that on camera. So I got to study the schematic, get the circuit straight in my mind, find some more test points to inject signals, check some, I'll come back on video, check some resistances and things like that. We'll see if we can find what's stopping the signal on this radio. Okay, so here's my thinking on this. I still have the radio operating here. These IF transformers and RF transformers, the primary side of them is often feeding B plus to the plate of a tube. So if there's a defect in the coil, the B plus will not arrive at the tube. So it's a simple matter for me to monitor the B plus on a particular tube, switch through the coils and see if the B plus hangs in there or disappears. So we'll start with the 6K7 here, and the pin would be pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pin 5. Wow, that's hard to look at. That's not pin 5. No. It's this one. 1, 2, 3. Pin 3 feeds the switch which selects the coil. It's actually all the other way around, but nevertheless, it amounts to the same thing. So 1, 2, 3 on the 6K7. So 6K7's here, right in the clear, nice and easy to see. And pin number 3 is right here. Now I just moved the camera so you can't see the meter. That wasn't the smartest move here. Okay, so you can keep your eye on this meter. And 1, 2, 3, here it is. Oh. And there you are. I'm on the 500 volt scale, so you know that's almost 300 volts there. So no lack of B plus. So that essentially proves the primary in this side. Now we already know the oscillators are working. So the question now is the secondary side. The secondary side. I think I got to get an ohm meter out and actually read these. Let me just look at the voltages on here. There's L1 antenna coil. It's the antenna coil, oscillator coil, and what do they call the last one? RF coil. RF coil, antenna coil, oscillator coil. Antenna coil, RF coil, oscillator coil down here. So this guy is this guy. So I think I don't know what to think. These are wired in a bit of a curious way here. They're not completely independent of each other, these coils. Well, maybe they are, actually. Now I look at it a little closer. I just want to figure out which coil is which. you know, which, there's that microphonic tube again. By my reckoning, the bigger coils go with the lower frequency. Yeah. Let me ponder this a little.